It's football night in America.
And it's Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the Patriots have been the focus of the NFL universe this week with the spying scandal. Tonight, New England hosts the San Diego Chargers in a rematch of last year's playoff thriller, which ended in a bitter defeat for Philip Rivers and the Chargers. And tonight, here in our Football Night in America studio in New York, we'll be joined by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for an exclusive live interview about the situation for the Patriots and their coach, Bill Belichick. Goodell will be here at about 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Hi again, everybody. Bob Costas along with Chris Collinsworth. We'll get to all the on-field action in a moment. But, Chris, the big story obviously remains the Patriots and the videotaping scandal.
Yeah, and I have to say I think Commissioner Roger Goodell blew this one. Bill Belichick should have been suspended without question here. The violation of the league rules occurred in this football season, and yet the punishment hit only their wallets and future draft choices. There is nothing that impacted this season. He should have been suspended for at least the Jets game because that's where the violation occurred, and also, in my opinion, for a playoff game. This was a great opportunity for the commissioner to lay down the law like he's done with the players, and he didn't do it. Okay, the punishment, $500,000 fine for Belichick, $250 for the franchise, a likely first-round draft choice, assuming they make the playoffs. Now, he being Goodell, could have suspended Belichick on top of that. Would you have suspended him for the December 16th rematch with the Jets? Gone beyond that? What would you have done? Yeah, absolutely. The playoff game and the Jet game, that would have been exactly what I would have done. And it would have just set the standard. You know, he had a great chance to say, hey, it's not just the players out there. It is the most prominent coach. It is the most prominent owner. And we're getting everybody. There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm taking care of it. It was a severe punishment. It didn't go far enough. All right, let's turn to Foxborough. Al and John are there to call a game that certainly has no shortage of storylines, Al.
Bob, we could probably keep it here for the next hour and 15 minutes and then kick off. I mean, this is a fantastic matchup to begin with. And then we have, of course, the headline story of the week, Spygate. John, the question is, and players will always say, no matter what happens off the field, the distractions won't bother us. Is that true in terms of the Patriots? Is it true in terms of the Chargers tonight? Can they really work through this without being distracted?
You know, I know it's true in the Patriots case. I mean, I was at practice the other day and watched them, and they didn't act any differently, and they were just practicing, getting ready for the Chargers, and I didn't think there was any effect at all. And being in the league so long, I know this, that players, first of all, they worry about themselves, and second, they worry about winning and losing, and things that go on, you know, with other people, with coaches and ownership, they really don't worry about. And I think if it affected anyone, it seemed to affect the Chargers more, because when they came in, Norv Turner was talking about it. He said it made him sick. Philip Rivers, his quarterback, said he's really disappointed that this happened in the league, and it seems like they were more concerned, or I don't think they're distracted, but they seem more concerned about it than the Patriot players did.
Right. A lot of guys around the league, a lot of coaches have weighed in as well. You just heard Chris Collinsworth say in terms of the penalties, he didn't feel they were nearly severe enough, that Chris felt that Bill Belichick should have been suspended for the Jets-New England game in December, and also any first playoff game that New England would play. What do you think? Where do you weigh in on the penalty laid down by Roger Goodell?
I thought the commissioner did a good job. I mean, this is something that he wasn't going to let get started. I mean, this is a serious offense, and it's technology, and that's what it's all about, and he stopped it right away. Now, maybe it's not severe enough for Chris, but I'll tell you it's severe enough for the rest of the league. And I think Roger Goodell not only sent a message to the Patriots, but he also sent a message to all 32 teams in the league. Don't do this, or you are going to get punished.
We can also unequivocally tell you that Belichick is signed through next season, so anybody who thought, hey, Bill didn't care because he won't be here next year, that would be incorrect.
Right. No, Bill Belichick is under contract to coach the Patriots next year and probably beyond.
Well, there's a story that broke tonight that he has agreed to a deal with Bob Kraft, the owner, through 2013. We will talk to Bob Kraft at halftime, and, of course, we'll address that. Apart from that, guys, not a heck of a lot going on here.
Yeah, as we can plainly see. Again, Al, we want to remind our viewers that at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Roger Goodell will be here live, and we'll ask him all the questions that time allows. Let me get your sense and John's sense here, Al. In your usual production meetings and conversations with Belichick before the game, did you sense anything different in his demeanor?
I think John and I have been in a lot of production meetings with Bill through the years. I don't think I've ever seen a different Bill Belichick. Have you?
No, he was the same guy. I mean, he wasn't going to talk about it, and he says, we're just moving on. We'll talk about the Patriots. We'll talk about the Chargers. I'm not going to talk about it. I made a statement, and that's it. But I knew that he was going to say that. I mean, it wasn't, oh, geez, this is a real shock. That's Bill Belichick. That's the way he always is. And then I went out on the field with him, and I watched him coach and practice, and he was the same as he's always been.
I thought MoveOn.org was his website, Bob.
Hey, let me ask you guys something, though. Do you think that the punishment came too soon? In other words, wasn't there room for more of an investigation in this to try and clean up everything that's going on in the league? I know the commissioner wanted to get the focus back on the football field, but there's so many unanswered questions about what happened here and what's going on in the rest of the league.
Well, I think one of the things that you guys will be able to find out when Bob talks to Roger Goodell at 8 o'clock is the answer to that question.
Well, and I think the question to ask Roger Goodell is, he said that it didn't affect the Jet game. Now, the Jet game was the first game of the regular season. So if it didn't affect the Jet game, it didn't affect any games this year. So what did it affect? I think that's where you have to go. Did it affect last season, the season before? Did it affect the playoff game against the Chargers, for example? I mean, to know what it didn't affect the Jet game. We still don't know what these things did affect, if anything.
Bob, we're just emailing our questions to you so you can ask Roger later.
Absolutely. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Al, John, we'll check with you later. Chris, don't go anywhere. Up next, we talk with NFL Hall of Famer Nick Buoniconti, whose Miami project seems to have had a profound and positive effect on the recovery of the Bills' Kevin Everett. That's next.
Kevin Everett face down at the point of attack.
Boy, this is the worst thing you ever want to see anybody have to deal with in a football game, but those collisions on kickoff coverage can be pretty violent.
You can only pray that, but it's not a real serious situation, although it appears to be right now.
This is going to sound crazy.
You went back in time. What if you could journey back?
Where am I?
And change lives.
You know why you're here?
2 people are going to die tonight. Look out!
Journeyman, next Monday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
They've lost 265 pounds in just 1 week, but wait till they meet their surprise competition. All new Biggest Loser, Tuesday 8/7 Central on NBC.
AE Door and Window has changed the curb appeal of homes all around the tri-state. Let AE Door and Window change the curb appeal of your home.
What improves the curb appeal of your home more than new windows? Energy-efficient windows from AE Door and Window. Right now, get a free low-E glass upgrade on every vinyl craft window you purchase. So whether you need one or a whole house full of windows, call AE Door and Window today and save.
At AE Door and Window, where we sell the best and service the rest.
It's finally here, the Dodge Model Year-End Clearance, with no interest for 6 years on Dodge Durango, Dakota, and Grand Caravan with stow-and-go seating and storage. Now, for the first time ever on 2007 Durango, Dakota, and Grand Caravan, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months. That's no interest for 6 full years. Add that to the best warranty in the business, our exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. And that's an offer no one else matches. Hurry, the Dodge Model Year-End Clearance ends soon.
Derek said it would be like this.
It's crazy what you can do on your phone these days. Check this out.
You can make toast with your phone?
Now you can track your fantasy team on the go with NFL Mobile, available only from Sprint. It might not make toast, but it's still pretty cool.
Watch this.
Welcome back to Football Night in America from 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York. Last Sunday in Buffalo, Bills reserve tight end Kevin Everett suffered a life-threatening injury when he collided on a kickoff with Denver's Dominic Hickson. The force of the collision caused direct compression of his spinal cord between the C3 and C4 vertebrae. It was a situation all NFL players dread, but within days, thanks to a combination of fast action and modern medical technology, fear for the worst turned to guarded hope that Everett might walk again.
Hickson meets a brick wall of Buffalo defenders, and he goes down at the 21-yard line.
At first glance, it could have been just one of the countless collisions that fill NFL Sundays. But as Kevin Everett instantly fell motionless to the Ralph Wilson Stadium turf, it was apparent the result of this impact was anything but normal.
This could be a serious situation for Kevin Everett. He has not moved.
Paralyzed from the shoulders down, Everett's life was in danger. He was rushed to Millard Fillmore Gates Hospital in Buffalo. There that night, Dr. Andrew Cappuccino performed 4 hours of emergency surgery.
This was a potentially catastrophic injury, and this young man suffered a potentially lethal and grave injury.
But 2 days later, Everett began to move his arms and legs. The seemingly miraculous turnaround was actually the result of cutting-edge science. During the ambulance ride from the stadium, Dr. Cappuccino had lowered Everett's body temperature to 92 degrees to help protect his brain and spinal cord, a procedure called moderate hypothermia. Dr. Barth Green is the chairman of neurosurgery at the University of Miami and the president of the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis.
This is like putting an ice pack on the spinal cord. So the Miami Project came up with the basic science concept. It proved it in the laboratory, and now we're doing clinical studies. And actually, the Bills doctor was hearing a lecture about our studies, and at the moment, he made a bold decision to try and save Kevin Everett's function.
The Miami Project was founded by Hall of Fame linebacker Nick Bonacani, who played for the Patriots and the Dolphins, founded after his son Mark suffered a spinal cord injury playing football for the Citadel in 1985. And Nick joins us here now. At first, when the Miami Project was named, the Miami Project, not to cope with, but to cure paralysis,
Right.
People scoffed. Not so much anymore.
They scoffed at Barth Green. They called him a quack. They said that research is far from ever going to cure paralysis. But, you know, over the years, 22 years, Bob, and what happens? A young man from the University of Miami, by the way, wearing my number, 85, the project funded by Ralph Wilson, the owner, to the tune of well over $1 million, and this young man is able to take advantage of the research of the Miami Project. And I think that's what's so amazing.
This is the soonest after a catastrophic injury that moderate hypothermia has ever been used. They acted quickly.
They acted quickly because Cappuccino went to a seminar, saw that Barth Green had researched this, and then now they're trying to get this to be the standard protocol throughout the league. But not only for football players, but for everybody, Bob. Because the worst phone call any parent could ever have is a phone call that says that your child's been in an automobile accident or football injury, and they're going to be paralyzed for the rest of their lives.
Even given the guarded optimism, Kevin Everett faces a long and tough road. Give us a sense of it.
Yeah, it's a long and tough road, Bob, and I'll tell the mother and the family that the best thing that they could do is to surround Kevin with his family and friends, keep a smile on their face, because this is the smile that you want on Kevin's face.
Tomorrow night in New York at the Waldorf Astoria, you hold your annual banquet. A lot of sports legends there. John Elway, Magic Johnson,
Bob
Mark
Costas.
Messier, Tom Brokaw will be there. Your son, Mark, who's been such an inspiration. And you've raised millions and millions of dollars. Is the NFL involved in this?
Well, the NFL was involved up to 3 years ago, and for a reason that no one can explain, they stopped funding the Miami Project. We don't understand why, but maybe this will propel them to review our grants, and maybe we'll get the funding back.
Nick, good to see you. See you
Thank
again
you,
tomorrow
Bob.
night. Okay, a full Sunday slate of games, 14 of them today. We'll take you through the highlights when we come back. This is Football Night in America.
One icon, 8 All-Stars, and your one chance to win $1 million at home. Deal returns tomorrow on NBC.
Respect is something that you just don't hand out. It's something you have to earn.
The Irish are in a fight for respect. And with this memory of Michigan State's last visit to South Bend, they're also out for revenge. Notre Dame and Michigan State, Saturday 3:30 Eastern on NBC.
News 5, first on the air with breaking news.
The interstate is shut down. Police are going car to car trying to find a bank robbery suspect.
It pays to have the only chopper in town, Sky 5.
You are looking at the only way to see this breaking news story unfold is on Sky 5.
First with exclusive video you'll only see on 5.
Exclusive pictures from Sky 5. The bank robbery suspect is in custody.
Covering the top stories like no one else can. We're News 5, where the news comes first.
So, what is it that makes La Rosa's authentic? Well, it's not the stuff on our walls. It's the stuff in our kitchens. Our family recipes made with only fresh ingredients. It's what's on our tables. Something for every member of every family. Speaking of family, it's certainly the name on our front door, which is the same name as the family in all those pictures. Maybe it is the stuff on our walls. Heritage. That's what makes us La Rosa's.
You've never driven anything like it. The Nissan Murano. Seamless acceleration from its Xtronic CVT transmission. You've never seen anything like it. SUV versatility. 5-star safety. One beautiful package. Lease the Murano for $249 a month or get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% financing. Feel it. See it. Believe it. At your Nissan dealer now.
Derek said it would be like this.
Game time at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, just about an hour away, the Patriots and the Chargers. And now as football night in America continues, Bob Costas back in our studios in New York. And as you may note, I'm on my own. Keith Olbermann is across town, where? At St. Luke's Hospital, rushed there Friday for an appendectomy. Why, there's Keith now, peering from his hospital window and preparing to name the nurse who failed to bring him his morning porridge as the worst person in the world. Keith is out for this week, and we've listed him as questionable for next week. So now Keith, by refusing to play hurt, has left me with all 14 highlight packages. And we'll start in Jacksonville with the Falcons and the Jaguars. Let's roll it. Very pleasant day for football. About 110 heat index on the field. Players trying to stay cool any way they can. Second quarter, out of the shotgun, the ageless Warwick Dunn hops to his left and into the end zone from 4 yards out. Atlanta takes a 7-3 lead going into halftime. Here they have a chance to pad it, but their new place kicker, Matt Prater, misses a chip shot from 26, his second miss of the game. Then on the ensuing drive, Jacksonville takes advantage of the Prater miss. David Garrard hits Reggie Williams for a 14-yard strike, caps an 8-play, 80-yard drive. It's 10-7 Jacksonville, a pensive Prater on the sideline. A Jacksonville field goal made it 13-7. And then Joey Harrington trying to bring them back toward the end, but Bobby Petrino's quarterback is sacked for the 7th time on the day. Harrington did go 12 for 20 for 200 yards, but they lose it by a score of 13-7. The Falcons are 0-2. Jacksonville is 1-1, and here's the Jags coach, Jack Del Rio.
How does that taste? We like that taste. Let's get some more of that, man. Hey, let's get some more of that now. Hey. We're just beginning. We haven't even found our groove, man. We're fighting our way through. Hey, keep working hard, keep improving, man. Keep believing. That's a nice win today. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Here we go.
Well, they enjoy that. We'll go to Carolina. Houston was visiting. There's Gary Kubiak, their coach. John Fox, coach of the home team Panthers. He's got Steve Smith on his side, and what a day Smith had. Watch this catch and a great burst for 28 yards after DeMarcus Fagans falls down. And then later on that same drive, Smith will make this catch over Fagans. Might have hit Fagans in the helmet for the touchdown. 7-0 Carolina. Here's Smith again. Little 12-yard out pattern as he shakes Fagans. It's 14-0. But now here come the Texans. Andre Johnson, league's leading receiver with more than 100 catches a year ago. Catch and run here, 31 yards to the corner, 14-7. Matt Schaub later goes for it on 4th and 4. Might have been the turning point of the game. Hits Owen Daniels for the first down. And then Andre Johnson from 9 yards out. And the game is tied at 14 on Johnson's second TD. Now the former Packer Amon Green, early in the third quarter, 13-yard touchdown run. Houston is up 24-14, and they pad it later when the ball is knocked free by Fagans here. Into the end zone, it squirts, and Kevin Walter falls on it. They go up 31-14. Carolina fan unhappy with the outcome, but still proud of his snappy look. Schaub receives congratulations on the sideline. Houston off to the first 2-0 start in franchise history with the win on the road, coming back from a 14-0 deficit to beat Carolina 34-21. Time for us to scoot over to the players' room. Chris is with Jerome and Tiki.
All right, guys, let's talk about these Houston Texans a little bit. Matt Schaub coming over from the Atlanta Falcons. And I talked to a couple of the offensive linemen today from the Texans. And they said, Chris, it is unbelievable the difference between this guy and David Carr. He gets the ball out. He reads the defenses quickly. 0 sacks on the day today.
And you know what's interesting? You talk about this Atlanta team that struggled to get on track. They got Matt Schaub out of there so there wouldn't be a potential Michael Vick, Matt Schaub quarterback controversy. He goes to Houston, and he's been perfect. 2-0. He doesn't make mistakes. He's very consistent. And he's putting this team in position to win every week.
But also, you got to think about the running game. They've made a commitment this year to run the football. They ran about 36 times. That's something that they didn't necessarily do last year. They went out and got Amon Green, and it's paying off.
And the great Carolina defense had a 14-0 lead today and nothing the rest of the day, Bob.
Well, Chris, pay very close attention here. Your Cincinnati Bengals went to Cleveland, and an Arena League game broke out. Take a look at these highlights, and there are plenty of them. First, Chad Johnson greeted with much love by members of the Dog Pound. Now Carson Palmer, 22 yards to Johnson, but he's at the opposite end of the stadium. He looks to head over there, but decides better of it since he leads 21-20 as we go on to the second half. It'll be Palmer to Johnson again. Carson Palmer threw 6 touchdown passes today, 401 yards total through the air. Here's Johnson for the catch. This time he will visit the Dog Pound. Some give him love, others pound him and pour beer on him. Go figure. Jamal Lewis. Is he still in the league? You bet he is. 28 carries, 215 yards and a touchdown. A 66-yarder here. Cleveland's up 41-31. Who's their quarterback? Derek Anderson. He threw 5 TD passes today. Braylon Edwards with the catch here puts them up 48-38. Charlie Fry traded to Seattle. Brady Quinn still on the bench, and perhaps for a while longer, since Anderson threw for 5 touchdowns, 2 of them caught by Braylon Edwards among his 8 catches overall, and somehow Cleveland wins 51-45. Shocking. Sports Illustrated's Peter King, who joins us now on the set.
Well, Bob, I talked to Derek Anderson after the game. One of the things he said is, I went up to Braylon Edwards and to Kellen Winslow after the game and said, thanks for making me look so good. And I asked him, hey, have you ever dreamed in your life that you'd have a 5-touchdown day in the NFL? And he said, you know, growing up, I dreamed it, but I never thought it'd happen.
And that the other quarterback would throw for six, but we'd still win the game.
Awesome day for Derek Anderson because he's been embroiled in this whole Charlie Fry, Brady Quinn controversy. I said to him, what about you and Quinn? He said, we get along great. We'll see what happens if I keep playing like this.
Does this quell the start Brady Quinn next week?
He won't start next week, no.
A bold prediction. I guess not if the other guy threw 5. All right. On we go to Pittsburgh. Their new head coach, Mike Tomlin. Last year they started 2-6. They're off to a 2-0 start. Bills players wearing the T-shirts in honor of the injured Kevin Everett. Pittsburgh wearing throwback uniforms to Jerome's rookie year in celebration of the 75th anniversary of the franchise. That was Willie Parker for 24 yards. Here's Roethlisberger looking for Hines Ward. Lucky that Jabari Greer didn't pick it off. They settled for another Jeff Reed field goal, 4 of them in fact. Put them in front 12-3 before Parker broke loose for the 16-yard gain in the third quarter. Now Roethlisberger flushed out of the pocket, scrambles to the right. It's the rookie tight end Matt Spaeth with the catch. Spaeth's second TD in as many games, 19-3 Pittsburgh. And now here's Parker, 23 carries for 126, 235 yards in the season's first 2 weeks, 26-3 at this point. J.P. Lossman sacked by Lamar Woodley. And a smiling Mike Tomlin. His team has outscored the Browns and Bills in the first 2 games by a total of 60-10. And after a 2-6 start in 06, they're off to a 2-0 start this year, and a happy Ben Roethlisberger post-game.
It feels good. It feels good to be able to know in the second half when you have at least a 3-point lead, you're not going to run the ball every play. You know, we kind of got used to doing that in the past, and it's good to mix in a few passes here and there, and I think it still keeps defenses on their toes.
Ooh. Little shot at Bill Cowher?
It might have been a little shot at Cowher, but he needs to be careful because you have to be able to pound the football at the end of games. And if you're throwing the football,
yeah, but you know what? Sometimes you get too complacent running the ball. And just let's run the clock out. You got to stay aggressive. You know, I kind of agree with Ben on this one.
You know, let's talk a little bit.
My job.
Let's talk a little bit about the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I don't blame them today. Nobody can stop this Cleveland Browns offense. What the heck is going on?
Last week we said they were unwatchable. This week they scored 51 points.
But you know, there's so much pressure on Derek Anderson because in Cleveland, if you have a bad day, they trade you.
No, you're right.
They get you right out of there, right?
My question is it Cincinnati or is it Cleveland? Which was the better of the two?
Chris, what happened to your former team's D?
Let's go back over to Bob.
Yeah, and that brings up the next question. What is the deal with the New Orleans Saints? Within a game of making it to the Super Bowl, the feel-good story of last year, now off to an 0-2 start. Reggie Bush today at Tampa, 10 carries, 27 yards. Cadillac Williams, 24 for 61, but 2 touchdowns. Here's Jeff Garcia at age 37, still getting it done. Hits Alex Smith down the right side for 33 yards. Later on the same drive, Garcia scrambles for 7, needed them for the first down. Dangerous carry as he dives head first for the yardage that he needs. Now, Cadillac Williams with a little help on the block from the tight end Alex Smith, who seals the corner for him. 1-yard touchdown, 7-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. On to the second quarter. Garcia to Joey Galloway, 69-yard touchdown. Michael Clayton with an effective block for him. It's the 8th career TD of more than 60 yards for Galloway. The only active players with more, Randy Moss and T.O. Moss with 10 and Owens with 9. Garcia deep to Ike Hilliard. This one covers 41 yards, bouncing off tacklers. And then Garcia off the play fake to Galloway in the end zone. 24-yard TD puts them up comfortably 21-0. They go on to win it 31-14. Tampa Bay's first win of the year. New Orleans 0-2. And after the game, here's John Gruden.
We needed a win. Hell, that's why we work. You know, you want to get paid. You don't want to work all week and go home without a check.
Hey, I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised at anything. I'm disappointed and frustrated, obviously, and we got to get it corrected.
I know you had a chance to talk to your brother Rondé today. He was pretty impressed with the offense.
Well, you know what he was impressed with, and this happened in the past with John Gruden, quarterback. When Brad Johnson was quarterback, he would talk to John Gruden and say, I don't like this, I like this. And Jeff Garcia has become that for John Gruden. He challenges him to get the kind of plays that he wants to have.
Rich Gannon was the same way when he had success with Oakland.
And you're seeing Jeff Garcia not only resurrect his career, but he may be saving John Gruden's job down in Tampa Bay with an offense.
And he's not making a lot of mistakes with the football, and you've got to love that if you're a head coach trying to win some games.
You get the ball in the hands of a guy like Joey Galloway.
Joey Galloway's unbelievable. 35 years old, still a deep threat. And there's another guy, their guard, Aaron Sears, one of their draft picks that I think is going to be a superstar in this league. I watched him on tape last week, only made one mistake, and that's when he tripped over his own guy. But Joey Galloway, just simply phenomenal again today, off to a great start. Yes. All right, Bob.
All right, Chris, Tiki, Jerome, thanks. When we come back, Eli Manning was in the lineup for the Giants earlier today, and for the 239th consecutive time, an old Warrior was under center for Green Bay. Giants-Packers highlights coming up next.
Looks left, throws the middle of the end zone, back line, touchdown driver.
September 26 is no ordinary Wednesday. We're calling it Bionic Wednesday. The night Deal or No Deal gives $1 million to someone at home, live. The night of the season's most anticipated premiere, Bionic Woman.
I know what I'm capable of.
And the night of TV's most fascinating new crime drama, Life. It's a night so powerful, we could only call it Bionic Wednesday, September 26 on NBC.
Derek said it would be like
Hey, Cincinnati, Derek said it would.
How much does Bob Summerall really care? Enough to give you a $50 gift certificate for Honey Baked Ham when you purchase a set of 4 Yokohama tires.
Bob Summerall really cares.
Here's Jax. We're going to make some big changes. Yeah, free live music and not an Appletini in sight. Excuse me, ma'am. 2 more highlights for my friends here. All right? Up here. Is this thing on? Woo! Jax Bar, congratulations. Your support for the High Life shall now be immortalized. Light it up. Woo! Why y'all letting me do that? The High Life is on.
Hi, I'm Bill Weber from AE Door and Window, where we sell the best and service the rest. We're proud to present today's opening kickoff. Enjoy the game.
Television that touches lives. Change your life with Dr. Phil.
Hand off to Gore, and he's got it, and he breaks loose. Touchdown, 49ers!
Dive up the middle, breaks the tackle, touchdown!
Brett Favre has become the all-time winningest quarterback in National Football League history.
There is the reigning league MVP, LaDainian Tomlinson, who has had some things to say about the Patriots, both immediately after the playoff loss last January and this week after the Spygate scandal broke. And they'll hit the field in less than an hour against the Pats tonight in Foxborough. Coming up in about 30 minutes, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will be here in the studio to talk about that Patriots situation and the punishment handed down by the league to Bill Belichick. And, of course, that'll be followed by the big early season AFC matchup between the Chargers and the Patriots. Back now to the highlights, and two teams hoping to unseat Seattle as NFC West champions, the Niners and the Rams. Frank Gore playing through the grief. His 46-year-old mom, Liz, passed away earlier this week from kidney disease. Here in a short yardage situation, he not only gets the first down yardage, he goes 43 for his second touchdown of the game. San Francisco leads 14-13 at that point. But now down 16-14. The Niners get a break when Dante Hall muffs the punt. San Francisco recovers, leads to a Joe Nedney 40-yard field goal. They lead 17-16. Jeff Wilkins, with about a minute to go, from 56 yards, hits the crossbar. He had made 3 before that, including a 53-yarder. That one barely misses. St. Louis is 0-2. San Francisco goes 2-0 for the first time since 1998. On now to the Packers and the Giants. The quarterbacks say hello before the game. Brett Favre starting for the 239th consecutive time. Meanwhile, Eli Manning, whom some said would have been out for a few weeks, makes his 41st consecutive start for the Giants despite the sore throwing shoulder. Vintage Favre here in the third quarter after the Giants had cut their lead to 1. Favre leads the pack downfield. First, it's Brandon Jackson on the screen for 15. Still on the same drive. This is the first play of the fourth quarter. Favre on 2nd and 7 to Donald Driver from 19 yards down to the Giants' 8. Then Favre will cap the 10-play, 80-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown pass to Donald Lee. Favre was 9 for 9 on the drive for 75 yards. The second of his 3 touchdown passes today. And then on the ensuing kickoff, the Giants' Ahmad Bradshaw fumbles. Charlie Pepper recovers for the Packers. And 5 plays later, Favre will throw his 3rd TD pass of the game, a 10-yard bullet to Donald Driver. He has 417 career touchdown passes, 3 behind Dan Marino's all-time record. Favre wins an NFL record 149th game as a starter, 1 more than John Elway. And afterwards, here's Brett.
Being as young as we are, or as they are, to start 2-0 with as many question marks as we have, I'm pleased.
We made some stupid penalties today. We have no excuses. There's no explanation for it. I think we're a better football team than we've shown. Obviously, I don't have any real grounds for saying that. It's just a belief. I do believe we're all in it together, and I do believe that we're all embarrassed.
New York Giants have now given up 80 points in the first 2 games, and Tim Lewis was basically the scapegoat for the defense last year, their defensive coordinator. Make the change, go to Spagnuolo, and it may be worse this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to give Brett Favre a little bit of credit because he did play a good game, but defensively they were overmatched in this game, and it's been that way for a couple of years, and it's frustrating, I know, for them. If you look at them on the sidelines, they look dejected, they look like they don't have any confidence in themselves, and when you get to this point, it's very, very hard to pull out. The Giants are not going to outscore every team every week, as good as Eli and the offense have been playing.
I'll say this, though, it was some of the players that was bad-mouthing Tim Lewis as well last year, and now the burden is back on them.
It's not the coaching sometimes, it's the talent.
Yeah. It's good to have a little talent. All right, Bob.
All right, guys, up next, the league's #1 quarterback and perhaps its most exciting young quarterback. Highlights of Colts and Titans coming up next.
Stay tight in the pocket. Be on time. Is he blitzing?
3 seconds until sack.
Work your eyes to the left. Stare down that safety. Malcolm Mike. What's the corner doing?
2 seconds until sack.
We need this one.
Looking for Harrison. Harrison's completely covered.
1 second until sack.
Who's breaking 3? Who's breaking high? Who's my high?
As soon as Manning thinks it, then you see it. Highlights, updates, and scores at the speed of light. This is the NFL at sprint speed.
Tommy.
Marco?
Looking good.
I thank you.
Love the jacket.
Do you?
Yes.
$90.
What?
Ooh, nice shoes.
$50.
I'm proud of you.
Love the hair.
Oh, yeah, my cousin does it. $20.
Very nice.
Nice tie.
Thanks for thinking my tie is nice.
What'd you spend on that?
$12.
Double cheeseburger, $1.
McDonald's melty, beefy double cheeseburger.
I'll give you $2.
3.
What, are you made of money?
Just one of the extravagant choices on the dollar menu. Are you a dollar millionaire? It's time for the ultimate football experience at Sears. High-def TV, surround sound, and big-time savings. Like right now, buy any Sony HD TV with your Sears card, save up to $250, or get no interest for up to 24 months. Add a high-def DVD player or an audio system, score free delivery. Touchdown dance is optional. This season, make every game a home game. Sears, where it begins.
I remember making snowboards by hand in my own garage. We couldn't afford the proper equipment, so there I was, applying polyurethane with a scuba mask on. Eventually, we started making some pretty good boards, but it still didn't catch on. People just didn't get it. Maybe it wasn't what we were saying, but how we were saying it. Then we found a way.
HP helps great companies like Burton build their brands. Get the tools to build yours online at hp.com/Burton.
Football Night in America is brought to you by HP. Show the world what you have to say and explore your creativity with HP. By NikeFootball.com. Leave nothing. By Claritin Allergy Products. Live Claritin Clear. And by McDonald's.
Think you're America's best fantasy football player? I know I did, but now's your chance to prove it. Sign up now for the free-to-play NBCSports.com $100,000 fantasy challenge. Even if you miss weeks 1 and 2, it's not too late. Your 2 worst weeks are dropped from your score, so play the matchups and play to win the $100,000 grand prize at NBCSports.com.
And did you sign up to play?
I did.
And how'd you do?
You know what place I'm in right now?
What?
This is no lie. I looked it up. 20,163rd. That's
Really?
pathetic.
You know, that really makes the non-professionals who are ahead of you feel good, right?
That's all I do all week is study tape and watch 20,000.
You know, it's like the guy who goes to the racetrack, bets on the number that matches somebody he went to school with, and walks off with a trifecta.
Thanks for trying to cover for me.
Expertise means next to nothing.
There
Forget
you
the
go.
racing form. Let's see if form held up, if there is such a thing, when the Colts and Titans meet. Last 3 matchups resulted in a total differential of just 6 points. Here's Manning early to Marvin Harrison, one of his 6 catches. First and goal after the 37-yard gain. Joseph Adai punched it in from 8 yards out. They missed the extra point, however. Then after a Tennessee field goal, Manning back to work again. Dallas Clark, 1 of 7 he caught today. TD makes it 13-3. On to the second half, and look who's in attendance at the game. Looks like a cross between Cosell and Alex Karras. There he is, Peyton Manning, there, right there, deep in his own end zone, looking for Reggie Wayne, but it's picked off by that man, Cortland Finnegan. First time Manning has been picked off in 190 attempts. Lendale White scored from there, 19-13 Indy. All right, enough of that. Titans trail by 2, less than a minute to go. Vince Young from the shotgun finds Roydell Williams for a 14-yard gain, trying to patch something together in the waning seconds, but this doesn't help. Brandon Jones should have held on and didn't.
Into the clock.
Now one last chance. 15 seconds left out of the shotgun. Young forced to scramble, trying to make something happen.
Runs out of room.
He'll lateral it to Jacob Bell, and it clangs off Bell's hands. The offensive lineman wants no part of it. Colts recover, and they win it 22-20. Manning, 28 of 42 for a touchdown and an interception. Young, 17 of 27 with a touchdown and 53 rushing yards. Afterwards, Bob Newmeyer talked with Peyton Manning.
Is this the price you pay for being a defending champion? The teams are going to take their best shot at you.
Well, this game has been tight the past couple of years, especially when we've been here in Nashville. Teams are very familiar with each other, similar coaches each year as far as same system, so there's not a lot of secrets. And so not going to be any great trick plays that are going to confuse the other team. So it's going to go down to the wire. We had some chances, we thought, maybe to score a few more points, but we kind of did a few things to hurt ourselves, and the Titans kept hanging around, and the crowd was into it, and they always play well at home. Feel fortunate to get out of here with a win.
So do you feel you weren't operating at 100% efficiency despite the win?
Yeah, I would say no. I would say, you know, it's certainly it's a great win to come on the road and to win a division game, but I didn't think we played our best football.
Manning has had better games. Adam Vinatieri had his first point after attempt blocked, had 3 field goals, so that helped a lot. But the guy who helped the most was Bob Sanders.
He was absolutely incredible. By the way, that was a great Alex Karras impersonation you were doing. I thought that was outstanding.
I was doing Mungo from Blazing Saddles.
But we all know that last year the Indianapolis Colts got great in the playoffs because of one guy. Bob Sanders returned to this defense, and he was even better than he was last year today. 4th and inches, Bob Sanders comes through, takes out the lead blocker. Once again, Bob Sanders up towards the line of scrimmage, going to bring the pressure. We know how athletic Vince Young is, scrambling around, and yet Bob Sanders able to get him on the ground. 2.5 sacks today, 3 hurries, 11 tackles, and then the last play of the game. What the Colts did was sort of a mush rush here. They're going to try to fill all the lanes. That's 4th down and 5. They understood that Vince Young would prefer to run the ball in this situation. His receivers are not that good, so what they do is they try to make sure he doesn't run, cover up those wide receivers. Worked perfectly today, but Bob Sanders was the difference in this one.
All last year you were saying when they get him back, they can turn what had been a faltering defense around. It happened last year, happening again this year.
It sure did.
All right, this look at the Colts-Titans game was brought to you by Universal Pictures' The Kingdom, a film coming soon which I'm told deals with covert operations. No truth to the rumor that Bill Belichick was an advisor on the film. It's in theaters on September 28th. And we're getting closer to the Patriots and the Chargers. San Diego motivated by some unfinished business from last year's playoffs.
LaDainian Tomlinson sets a new NFL record for rushing touchdowns.
LT's dream season came to an abrupt and bitter end at the hands of the Patriots.
It is a shell-shocked crowd.
They show no class at all. Maybe it comes from their head coach.
Allow us to help catch this criminal.
An elite FBI team sent to Saudi Arabia.
A man who can plan mass murder scares me more than anything.
Must stop a killer before he strikes again.
We're gonna find him.
This fall.
You're not safe at night. Oh, we're safe during the day.
Leave your world behind and enter the kingdom.
Reverse, reverse!
The Kingdom, rated R, starts September 28th.
When I'm riding, I can't let my allergy medicine put me in a fog. So I only ride Claritin Clear. Claritin works hard to relieve my worst allergy symptoms. Sneezing, runny nose, for a full 24 hours. In fact, it works so well, only Claritin is proven to make me alert and focused. And it doesn't make me drowsy, like some other medicines can. When I get allergy relief and stay razor sharp, I'm ahead from start to finish. Stay alert, stay focused, live Claritin Clear.
HD? HD. Thoughts?
Lots of thoughts. LCD, plasma.
Vivo surround sound, head spinning.
Deep breath. Likes?
Cowboy explosions, touchdown robots.
Cooking, tearjerkers, crime dramas.
Sing-along musicals.
This system, LG Home Theater, perfect fit. Mechanically inclined?
Emergency room inclined.
We install.
We pledge a complete home theater experience and now save $200 off an LG HD TV with installation. That's HD done right at Best Buy.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
At the
the corner of Hallis and Landry, there was a titanic clash of muck and man. The Mud Bowl. By game's end, the two teams shared a common uniform and one huge hunger. Introducing Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded, the new Chunky in the black can. Fully loaded soups like rigatoni and meatballs with extreme amounts of meat to feed an NFL-size hunger. And yes, Mom, they washed their hands before they ate. New Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded in the black can.
Honey, hey, listen, I'm out here with the guys, and they're really pushing me hard to come back and play another season in New York. What do you think?
Are you kidding?
Just say no. Just say the word no, and I'll stay retired. Just say no, and, you know, I won't do it. Okay, great then. Guys, I'm back. She's so happy, she's speechless.
The network you can trust, AT&T. Buy any phone and get up to 4 free.
I know there's a lot of interest here on the, the situations, but it's over, and we're moving on.
I think the Patriots actually live by the saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
It already happened. So right now we're focusing on what's in front of us, and that's the Chargers.
It matters. If you know exactly what's coming, you can know whether to call a run or a pass.
But maybe we can get our ring back.
The whole situation is behind us, and we're moving on to the San Diego Chargers.
Peter King is back, refusing to add any impetus to the story is probably the best approach from Belichick's perspective, but simply declaring that it's over and we're moving on doesn't really make it go away, much as he hopes that it would.
Well, Bob, this is how Bill Belichick explained to his team that he was basically going to stonewall this story. He said, listen, it takes two people to argue. I'm not going to get into it with the press. I don't want you guys to either.
Some people in the press and some fans have gone so far as to question whether or not this in some way taints the legacy of the Patriots overall, the 3 Super Bowl championships, and by extension, Tom Brady.
Well, no question, Bob. I had one NFL coach tell me, listen, if you're Barry Bonds and the catcher says to you, fastball inside corner, you still have to hit the ball even though you know it's coming. So Tom Brady still had to make those plays. Is it true? Was he getting the plays called into his ear? Was he getting the defensive alignment called into his ear? I talked to Brady on Saturday. He said it's completely false. He never got the plays, the defensive formations, called into his headset, Bob.
All right, Andrea Kramer is in Foxborough. She had this report on the still unfolding story.
Thanks a lot, Bob. A high-ranking NFL official told me that the Jets will very likely request an investigation by the league into the Patriots' use of unassigned and uncoordinated radio frequencies during their game last week. Now, these kind of frequencies can be used to listen to or record audio. The crux of this claim is the fact that there was a second camera stationed right next to the one that was shooting the Jets' defensive coaches sending in their signals last week. This second camera may have been used to illegally record audio that is suspected to be Patriots defensive linemen wired up so as to capture the Jets' audibles and offensive line calls. This would be another clear violation of NFL rules, especially since no players were authorized to be wearing microphones from either team during last week's game, Bob.
All right, Andrea, thank you. Roger Goodell will be here at the top of the hour. We'll certainly ask him about that. Meanwhile, let's get the view again from the players' room. And once again, here's Chris.
All right, Bob, thanks. Bus, you lost to Bill Belichick's Patriots twice in AFC Championship games. Could have gone to 2 more Super Bowls. As you look back on it, how do you feel about it now?
You know what? I'm upset about it because there was especially the second AFC Championship game, I think, really would have been affected if the cheating happened in that game, because we played them in the regular season. They would have gotten the calls. They would have gotten a lot of the defensive formations going into the second game, and there were some big plays that their offense made against our defense. So I
you
really
think you may have been part of Bill Belichick's library of these videotapes that may have helped him with the signal?
Absolutely.
Well, here's the second part of this argument. Whether it's cheating or not, we know that.
Oh, it's cheating.
A lot of teams do this, but this is just an egregious form of what a lot of teams do. They have a guy watching on the other sideline. As we know, as players, coaches accumulate information, and they treat it as if it's the CIA, this information that they have, and they get it to the players, but ultimately it's up to the guys on the field, just as Tom Brady said, to make the decisions, to be coached well, and to execute it.
But, Tiki, when you take the technology that you have today and use it to cheat, now it's not just, the coaches trying to get a competitive advantage. It's cheating. That's what it is.
Punishment enough?
Not enough. I think you should have suspended the coach, because this was an opportunity for Roger Goodell to show that, hey, I'm committed to cleaning up the NFL from a player's perspective, but also from a coach's perspective, when he didn't do that.
This was Goodell's first chance to look in the eye of a major head coach and a major owner in the National Football League and dole out the same kind of punishment that he gave to those players, Michael Vick and Pac-Man Jones. And in my opinion, he blinked because he did not suspend Bill Belichick, which he should have.
We'll hear from him a little bit later.
Yeah. Bob?
All right, Chris, a reminder for those just joining us, Roger Goodell will be here at the top of the hour for a live extended interview, and we'll ask him about all the varying points of view on the penalty that he handed down to Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Rolling on now with highlights, Kansas City at Chicago. Rex Grossman warming up before the game, and his first TD of the season comes early in the second quarter on a tackle-eligible play to John St. Clair, capping a 15-play, 79-yard drive, and Chicago goes up 7-0. A little more than a minute later, after a 3-and-out for KC, Devin Hester, look at this guy, beyond belief, 73-yard punt return, the fourth punt return TD of his career. Second year in the league, barely into the second year. It's already a franchise record for career punt returns. Grossman actually heard some boos on a 20-for-34, 160-yard day on which he threw for a touchdown and had a couple intercepted. But most importantly, Chicago wins 20-10. They're 1-1. KC off to an 0-2 start. This one just ended. The Raiders are 0-2, but they're a team to be reckoned with now. They took Denver to overtime. Jason Elam with a 23-yard field goal, second week in a row that he won it with a field goal on the game's final play. He had done it the week before at Buffalo. So Denver gets off to a shaky start, but it's a 2-0 start for them as they prevail at home in overtime. The Jets were at Baltimore. Here we go. Jets at Baltimore. Here's the question. Who's going to start at quarterback for each team? Chad Pennington warms up. Kellen Clemens warms up. Steve McNair gets loose. Kyle Bowler's turn, and it was the backups in each case. Bowler's throw to Todd Heap here initially ruled an incompletion. They reviewed the play, overturned it for a Baltimore touchdown. Baltimore was up 17-3, and then the Jets, down by as many as 17, came alive. Clemens to Chris Baker for the touchdown. Clemens now to the 7-yard line on the final drive, only to have his pass picked off by Ray Lewis in the end zone. Eric Mangini knows his team was close, but not quite. And how about this Ray Lewis? Chris, all week long they're saying he might be out for an extended period. He plays, and as he usually does, he affects the game's outcome.
Yeah, their defense is pretty tough. But really, the two teams right now that are the story that shocked us a season ago, the Jets and the Saints, now both sitting at 0-2. And for the Saints, they have absolutely no excuses. Their secondary, Bob, has been absolutely horrendous.
All right, Chris, in about 10 minutes, maybe a little less, we'll be joined by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. And when we return, Tony Romo led the high-powered Dallas offense to Miami against Jason Taylor and the Dolphins' own Big D. Highlights after this.
Superman, Romo in trouble. Oh, he found the guy in the end zone and threw it for a touchdown. Adams blocks Taylor. Romo deep left. Owens a fourth down touchdown.
Whatever steps you're taking to impress your partner, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, take a spin around Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injuries, stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. Now's the time to take the lead. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
In the NFL, the biggest games are decided by the smallest details.
That's why Samsung imagined an LCD HD TV with 120 hertz, a true black screen, and twice the frames per second for exceptional motion clarity.
We got it. Challenging.
So you won't have to wait for further review to start the celebration. The decision is clear. Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
Extreme power of Energizer Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery and high-tech devices. Energizer, keep going.
Welcome back to NBC's Football Night in America, presented by Chevy.
And we're moving closer to game time for the Chargers and Patriots in the Chevy drive to kickoff. San Diego looking to get some measure of revenge on Tom Brady and New England for their defeat last year in the playoffs. And once again, Roger Goodell will join us shortly for a live interview here in the studio to talk about the Patriots videotape spying scandal. Meanwhile, more late games to review right now, and we'll pick it up in Detroit. John Kitna guaranteed that the Lions would win 10 games this year.
Everybody looking at it. That's that guy right there.
Roy Williams saying, hey,
Megatron.
We got Megatron, referring to Calvin Johnson. Here's J.T. O'Sullivan on briefly in relief of Kitna, who had been shaken up, hitting that man, Calvin Johnson, for a 7-yard touchdown. Now O'Sullivan is hit by the Vikings. Kevin Williams fumbles. Ray Edwards picks it up, scores the TD, ties it at 17. In overtime, Kitna's back in. The scramble was key. It keeps the drive going. Here's Jason Hansen from 37 to win it, which he does. 20-17, turnover-filled game, 9 turnovers. Both teams missed potential game-winning field goals in the last minute, but somehow Detroit is now off to a 2-0 start. Minnesota is 1-1. On to Seattle at Arizona. Sean Alexander playing today with a cast to protect his sprained left wrist, but he had his moments. Third quarter here, Arizona leads by 3, 4th and 1 from the Arizona 16. Mike Holmgren elects to go for it. Alexander takes it all the way for the touchdown. He carried 18 times for 70 yards today. Seahawks driving for a potential winning score, but the handoff from Hasselbeck to Alexander is botched. Darnell Dockett recovers for Arizona. Now 4 seconds to go. Neil Rackers, who made one from 52 earlier, 42-yard potential game winner. And there it is, 23-20. Arizona wins it. Big day for Edgerrin James, 24 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Both these teams are 1-1. And a philosophical Mike Holmgren immediately afterwards.
Sean thought Matt had audibled, is really what it was. It was loud, and so he was doing something Matt didn't expect. And instead of just trying to live for another day, they tried to make a play, and then it happened.
I feel like $1 million. Yeah. $1,081,000.
All right, T.O. feels good, and at this point, so did Trent Green. 18-yard touchdown pass to Marty Booker. It's 13-10, Miami. But then, here's Patrick Creighton. He takes off 49 yards on the punt return to the Miami 30-yard line. On the ensuing possession, Tony Romo buys some time, flips a 2-yarder to Tony Curtis, who enjoys the sweet smell of success. 17-13 in favor of Dallas. And then Green is intercepted. He had 4 picked off today, 2 of them by this man, Anthony Henry. That leads to Romo to Terrell Owens, a 34-yard touchdown for T.O. Dallas goes up 30-13. They win it 37-20, and T.O. amuses himself as we head over to the players' room. Chris.
All right, Bob. Well, by our count, and this could be wrong because we used to get hit in the head for a living, so don't trust this completely. By our count, there are 8 2-0 teams.
Yes.
Detroit, Green Bay, San Francisco, and Houston qualify as the surprise teams.
Right.
Which one of those teams sticks out, do you think, has a chance to make a little run?
You know what? I have to say Houston, because Houston's offensively, Matt Schaub is playing great. He's not making mistakes. And defensively, they're being opportunistic. They have a great balance.
Well, Tiki, I've got to go with Green Bay. And let me tell you why. They've got a good defense. No. They got a good defense, right? Brett Favre, but they're in the NFC. They're not in the AFC. NFC is a weaker conference.
I'm going to take San Francisco. I love their defense, what they've done over there. Alex Smith should be getting better. Frank Gore, I think that's a team that has a chance. Now, the upper end. Here we go. And Pittsburgh's in here, so here's your chance to suck up. Dallas, Pittsburgh, Denver, or Indy?
Indy goes without saying.
That's a given. I can't even do this.
I got to say Dallas. They scored 82 points in 2 weeks, and Tony Romo looks like a great leader for them.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. They're running the ball well. No, they're running the ball well. Ben is throwing the ball well. He hasn't had any interceptions this year. Last year, the big issue was him, throwing the football away. He's not doing that this year in the defense. They're playing well.
You could have said Denver, and Pittsburgh guys still would have loved you.
I'm telling the truth.
I don't know. He wrote a book. I don't know how much love there is anymore. He wrote that book. All right,
it's
Bob.
a lot of love.
All right, guys, Roger Goodell will join me after the break, but first it's time for the Sprint Speed Sunday Best, 3 replays that exhibit speed from today's games. And we start in Tampa, where Joey Galloway at age 35 can still find the 5th gear. That burst got him in the clear, and he cruised to the 69-yard touchdown as the Bucs surprised the Saints. Then in a truly wild game in Cleveland, Jamal Lewis had enough to go 66 yards for the score here, had over 200 yards on the day, a big game for Lewis in the Browns' surprise win. And finally, in Carolina, Steve Smith had a huge day in a losing effort against the Texans, and this was his finest piece of work, escaping traffic, then turning it on for the 74-yard touchdown. That's the Sprint Speed Sunday Best. You can see more of today's highlights on NFL Mobile, available only from Sprint.
At the corner of Hallis and Landry, there was a titanic clash of muck and man. The Mud Bowl. By game's end, the two teams shared a common uniform and one huge hunger. Introducing Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded, the new Chunky in the black can. Fully loaded soups like rigatoni and meatballs with extreme amounts of meat to feed an NFL-size hunger. And yes, Mom, they washed their hands before they ate. New Campbell's Chunky Fully Loaded in the black can.
When it comes to romance, sometimes you like to be ready fast. But sometimes it's better to take things slow. For either time, one ED tablet gives you the option to choose. Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. No other ED tablet can do both. And Cialis works so you can respond to your partner only when you're both ready. Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away. Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because either sooner or later, when the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best highway fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You two, get in.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
Yeah, same here. I'm no financial genius, but I still want to be involved in my own investments, you know? I mean, every time I talk to my financial guy, I feel like it's, shh, no. I'm the expert. Keep quiet. Here's what you should be doing. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I may not be a financial genius, but that doesn't make me an idiot.
On September 25th, it's the season premiere of SVU.
Welcome back.
Cynthia Nixon guest stars.
I'm Dr. Anna Young. I'm Dory. Hi, Elliot. It's Tammy.
The only place for all new episodes.
That's really crazy, huh?
SVU premieres Tuesday, September 25th on NBC.
All right, we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff, and usually we go to Monday morning headlines here presented by Chevy, but the major headline all week has been the Patriots videotaping controversy. On Thursday, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell punished the Patriots, fining Bill Belichick $500,000, the Patriots franchise an additional $250,000, and stripping New England of a 2008 draft pick, in all likelihood a first-rounder. We're joined now by Commissioner Roger Goodell in the studio. The Patriots, assuming they make the playoffs, are docked a first-round pick. They have 2 first-rounders, their own and San Francisco's. This isn't clear yet. Which one will you take away, the earlier one or the later one?
It's their first-round draft pick. And I should note that the importance of a first-round draft choice, whether they have 2 or not, the loss of a first-round draft choice is very impactful on a franchise.
So they figure to finish higher up in the standings than the Niners, so it would be the second of those 2 picks in that scenario.
Well, I don't know how we're going to come out of this season, but it's contemplated that if they don't make the playoffs, then we would take a second and third round draft choice.
There's general agreement that losing the draft choice is more significant competitively than a suspension of the coach, but it wasn't an either-or. You could have suspended him. In addition, earlier on this program, Chris Collinsworth said suspend him for the December 16th rematch against the Jets and for the first playoff game if the Pats make it.
Well, I don't agree with that, and I respect Chris a great deal, but I don't think that's appropriate here. What my job here, Bob, is to make sure that all 32 teams are operating within the same rules on a level playing field. And that's what I've tried to do here with this penalty, is to make sure that all teams are playing by the same rules. There is no question in my mind that the draft choice, and a first-round draft choice, which is unprecedented, we've never taken a first-round draft choice in a disciplined matter, is terribly impactful to our franchise and will send a message to all 32 clubs that you are going to play by the rules. And I think that's the important message here. It is also a significant penalty to the franchise and to Bill Belichick. And I also issued an unprecedented level of fine against Bill Belichick and a $250,000 fine against the club.
You were widely praised for the crackdown on some players who had misbehaved, Pac-Man Jones, Michael Vick, whomever. Now there's some sentiment that you went easier on an authority figure, a coach, than you had on the players, even though the situations are not exactly the same. Some who praised you in the first case are critical of you now.
I understand this job is going to come with criticism, Bob. I heard you earlier in the week and Peter King earlier in the week talking about a second-round draft choice would be an extremely strong statement. I understand that. And people are going to have difference of opinions. I listened today and I heard a lot of people who thought it was too strong. That's part of my job. But what I have to do is make sure that I maintain the integrity of the NFL. And allowing each team to be on the field playing within the same rules is a critical point for me.
Wade Wilson, the quarterback coach of the Cowboys, received a shipment of HGH. You suspended him 5 games, fined him $100,000, which is a third of his salary. $500,000, we'd guess, is about a tenth of Belichick's salary. Wilson, who is no longer a player, says he received it to help him cope with the effects of diabetes. Is that a disproportionate penalty? Assistant coach for HGH as against Belichick with a competitive advantage?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to get into the personal situations of why Wade was taking it, but that's not an accurate point. Second of all, Wade Wilson was involved in a criminal activity. It was against the law. And it is a very clear policy for our clubs, for our players, that if you violate that, it's a 4-game suspension. I suspended him for 5 games. We had a player who was also suspended at the same time because I believe a coach should be held to a higher standard. And that is why I approached it that way. They all understand the rules, and I think we did what was appropriate in Wade Wilson's case, and I'm comfortable with that.
Belichick hasn't said much, but he did say that he had a different interpretation of the rules than did the league. How would it have been possible for him to misinterpret the league's intent here?
Well, I think Bill should speak for himself. I don't agree with his interpretation. I think we are sending him a very strong message that we don't agree with it. And as I say, he is facing a tremendous amount of public scrutiny, criticism publicly, and I think it's warranted based on the evaluation he made of the Constitution bylaws.
Andrea Kramer reports that the Jets may ask for an investigation about the Pats illegally miking defensive linemen to pick up line calls and quarterback audibles. Is there more here that you're investigating concerning the Pats or maybe other clubs?
We are going to be monitoring all 32 clubs, the Patriots included. We have heard a lot of rumors about certain things that have been done, either with audio, with quarterback-to-coach communication, and we want to make sure that they're all playing by the same rules. So we will monitor all 32, and that's part of why the message was so strong here and unprecedented. A first-round draft choice is not something clubs are going to take a chance on. This is supposed to deter people behaving this way, and I'm confident that it's going to be the case.
Given all the advances in modern technology, is this a high-tech version of what you face and all leagues face with performance-enhancing drugs, where, try as you might, the cheaters seem to stay ahead of the police? and all these new devices come along, and try as you might, you have to wonder how you're going to thwart them all.
Well, this wasn't.
I mean,
really
there are binoculars now with taping and.
You're right, but this wasn't really high technology. This was a videotape camera on the sideline. But we think we can use technology for us to be able to monitor some of the things that go in our stadiums. But if the consequences are great, the clubs won't do it, and that is why we are trying to be very firm here, very strong. Do not do this, or you will suffer the consequences, and your franchise will. This is a team violation here.
After the offseason that you had, this happens in week 1. It's clear that you want to deal with it, put it behind you, and move on to the games. On the other hand, is there an argument to be made that maybe you should have waited? Maybe there is more information here that has to be gathered, and you could have held your penalty off for a while?
I certainly understand that comment, but I don't think it is, because, again, I'm trying to make sure that our games are played within the same rules. I wanted, going into this weekend, all 32 teams to know the consequences are severe if you don't follow the rules and you don't play fairly. And that's why I wanted to make my ruling now, to make sure they understood that. I still reserve my right, and I have notified the Patriots of that if there is information that I have not been made aware of, or it's inconsistent with what I've been told, I will revisit that case.
So you could increase the penalty?
Yes.
In that instance?
Of course. If I find out new information that's different than what I have, absolutely.
Do you have reason to believe that Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, was aware of what was going on here?
No, I don't. Robert made it very clear to me, and I believe him, that he was not aware of this. Is something that was happening in the football department, and many people in the football department were involved with it. That's why it's a team-related issue here.
Just a few seconds here. The league has asked for the tapes and all the notes that go with them.
Right.
Realistically, do you expect to get them all?
Absolutely.
How can you be sure?
I am very confident that the Patriots are going to abide by the rules. They understand that the consequences, and that I could increase the discipline if I don't get them.
Commissioner Goodell, thanks very much for coming in.
Good to be with you, Bob.
All right, in just a moment, we'll join Al Michaels and John Madden in Foxborough as we move on to the Chargers and the Patriots. By consensus, these are two of the three best teams in the NFL, the defending champion Colts being the other. We'll see you at halftime. The Pats and the Bolts are next.
This has been NBC's Football Night.